As you can find, the first question is word choice. Word choice. And you know that this kind of question is one of the easiest question. Why? He's talking about the words or the confusing words. Confusing words. Here he said a bicycle can no more be, as you find here, to run smoothly without a proper adjustment of. Wait. Do you remember when I told you in EST, when we have two questions that follow each other, we can consider as a hypothesis, not as a true, that one of them is not changed? Take care of that. So here I'm going to say that maybe accepted. Maybe accepted, but let's find. We have accepted. We have something called accepted, and this is not an English word. This is not an English word, so I'm gonna cancel it. So there is a problem in its spelling. And also this one is not an English word, so I cancel both of them. So now I have accepted and expected, and both of them has different meaning. So let's read again. A bicycle can no more be to run smoothly without a proper adjustment. So expected, expected. Now the second question, the same sentence, and as we said, as a hypothesis, if we have two questions that follow each other, we can consider one of them no change. So here it's no change. So let's find maybe here no change. So he said of, and of is a preposition, and we know after preposition because this pronoun antecedent agreement, pronoun antecedent agreement. And we know that after the preposition, we cannot put subject and verb. So cancel it is. Cancel it is. And cancel they are. Because of both of them. Why here you put that this cancel? Because and is a parallelism. What come before equal to what come after. What come before come what come after. So here we're going to cancel this. So now we cancel B and D. Let's find A, that we said maybe the answer. He said of its parts and their maintenance in perfect running condition. Yes, here we have two possessive before and after with a noun. It can be. Why C is wrong? Because he said its parts and therefore a place. So it's wrong. So the answer is going to be A. So now the hypothesis succeed. Let's find after that. He said the author want to express worthiness. Word choice again. Word choice again. Which choice best accomplish this goal? I have a goal that I need a word that means or equal or express worthiness. Worthiness. Okay. Here he said, and while the chain and chainless production of 1898 are disliked, how disliked is going to be worthiness? How disliked is going to be worthiness? For their simple mechanism, such points as the bearings and running gear require periodical inspection and attention to ensure satisfactory service. So dislike is not going to work. We have admired, maybe, yes, it shows the worthiness. Judge, no. Famous, it can work. But how we're going to say that, and while the chain and chainless production of 1898 are famous for their simple mechanism, such points as their bearing. No, it's better to say admired for their simple, not famous for their simple mechanism. Number 4, again, pronoun antecedent. Look here. Number 1, word choice. Number 3, word choice. Number 2, pronoun antecedent agreement. Number 4, pronoun antecedent agreement. So let's find. As you can find here, number 4, it's a possessive pronoun for things. They is a subject pronoun. Him is object pronoun. His is a possessive pronoun. Let's find now when we are reading. He said this cannot be adequately given by a writer who has no conception as to the details of construction of machine. Here we're talking about a writer, the antecedent. So we need something to relate to masculine. So here we have him and his. Can we say him here? Him machine? No, we can't because we can't put after a pronoun, a noun. After a subject pronoun, a noun. I'm sorry, after object pronoun, a noun. So it's gonna be his machine. The question after is transition. Transition. In number five, so it relates to sentence what come before and what come after. Let's find. So is cause, yet contradiction, but contradiction, for cause. So take care. So I have two cause and two contradiction. So let's find the relationship first, before and after. From here, this cannot be adequately given by a writer who has no conception as to the details of construction of his machine. And it frequently happens that a bicycle sinks into an early grave because its rider persists in calling upon it for continued service, while it utterly indifferent or careless to its construction and requirement. So here it's cause and effect relationship. So I'm gonna delete B and D. I'm sorry, B and C. So now I'm between A and D. But there is a difference between so and for. Why? Because for come after it the cause, before it the effect. So come after the effect, before it the cause. So here what come here? It's in the effect, as it happens. So which one is gonna be so? Number six. Again, word choice, as you can find. Three word choice. Is it which word best describe the phrase no thigh wheel? Let's find this is number six. This is number six. He said, no thigh wheel. And he put it between quotation marks. And we know that what put between quotation marks, it can be a quote, it can be a description, it can be a maxim, and it can be actually a direct speech. A direct speech. But here, no thy wheel, it's not shown that it's a kind of conversation or direct speech. He said it's an excellent for every writer to follow. So it looks like just Nike, just do it, just do it. So this is a maxim, a saying. Number seven. The author are considering removing the quotation marks. They want to remove those quotation. In the underlined portion, should they do so? As you can find, that 6 and 7 are related to each other. We're talking about the quotation marks. We're talking about the quotation marks, and we said that the quotation marks we are gonna put for the words if they are direct speech, like a conversation, like a saying or maxim, a description, a quote, something like that. Let's read to find out first, because this is purpose and relevance. Let's find first that is it yes or no first? Are you gonna remove or not? Let's read it. From where? From actually from the beginning. Know thy will is an excellent maxim for every writer to follow. For those who heed it, the matter of emergency repair will be a simple thing. A smooth running wheel will be assured. The chance of accident reduced to the minimum. And the life of the machine extended throughout its fullest period. Oh, I'm sorry, I read a sentence. Okay, here. It's partially with a view to bringing about a better acquaintance between the average writer and his wheel that the following pages are presented. I'm sorry, here it's no direct speech, it's not maxim, it's not quote, it's not description, it's nothing. So I'm gonna remove I'm gonna remove the quotation marks. So now we know. Now let's decide what is the purpose. So the quotation represent the author inner thoughts? No. If it's represent the inner thoughts, we're gonna keep it. The quotation mark extend unnecessary emphasis? Yes. It's not necessary. Just put the quotation mark. So the answer is B. Number 8. Again, relevance and purpose. If you're going to find the first passage, it's talk more about the same kind of skills. So, Here he said, what should be done with the dashes? Those dashes. And we know we put dashes for the phrase or the clause that it's unnecessary. So let's find, I'm gonna read without the dashes or what between them. If I find that nothing is missing, so I'm gonna keep them. If I find that something is missing, I'm gonna delete the dashes. To the bicycle manufacturer and to the repairman and dealer, okay, to the student of cycle construction and to the mechanical expert, the volume will scarcely fail to be regarded as a valuable reference book for many years to come. Okay, start to give us a list of people here. And I think we do need what it's between that who are frequently called upon for advice and service concerning any and all makes of wheels. It's not. So I'm gonna keep them. So let's find now the purpose. The information within the dashes is non-restrictive, means non-essential, yes. The dashes offer a change in tone, no, it doesn't offer any kind of change of tone. Let's go to number 9, and number 9 here is punctuation. Punctuation, how you know that it's punctuation? Because the same words and difference only in the quotation marks. It said the idea of presenting two writers through the columns of the commercial advertiser. Okay, the idea is the subject. Where is the verb? The idea is the subject. Where is the verb? Let's continue. Through the column of the commercial advertiser and illustrated. Illustrated here is not a verb because before it come an. So it's an adjective. Description of the lines, parts, improvements of the bicycle for 1898 was conceived. The idea was conceived. So number one, I'm gonna think about that we said before, after the subject, comma, before the verb, comma, after the subject dash, before the verb dash, after the subject nothing, before the verb nothing. Number one, I can't put semicolon because the sentence here is not complete. We can put semicolon only if we have other semicolons in the sentence, and we don't. So delete the semicolons, B and C. Now we are between A and D. The problem here, as you can find, that in A, he said to writers, then he complete, and we can put it. But in this case, A is going to be if it's essential. In D, through till advertiser, it's not essential. Let's find it. The idea of presenting two writers was conceived. Yes. So through the column, the commercial advertiser and its written description of the lines, parts, improvements. All of this is not important. Plus, as we said, it's not important from writer to advertisers. So we can take the idea of presenting two writers, then, I'm sorry, here, writers, yes. Then, to writers and illustrate description of the lines, parts. So this is not important, so D is better. Number 10, the author would like to insert the sentence to provide further support to their argument in this paragraph. Here it's placement skill. We have to read the sentence that we need to add to find the relation before and after in other sentence. Here he said riders were to have none of these advantages for the season of 1898. Okay, old whatever encircled is important. However, and the commercial advertiser accordingly began the work of collecting and presenting the information which appeared in its columns in serial form during February, March, and April of 1898, and which now presented in this volume. Okay, let's find out. As you can find a sentence before and sentence after. Where's sentence 1? Sentence 1 is here. So if we're going to put it here and you have the words, so it's going to be related to this last sentence of this one. So the last sentence is said to the bicycle manufacturer and to the repairman and dealer who frequently called upon for advice and service concerning any and all makes of wheels, to the student of cycle construction and to the mechanical expert, the volume will scarcely fail to be regarded as a valuable reference book for many years to come. Nothing here mentioned. What is mentioned here? Okay, after. The idea of presenting to rider through column of the commercial, yes, rider is repeated, but he doesn't talk about advantages. And illustrated description of the lines, parts, improvement of the bicycle for 1898. I think this also repeated. Was conceived chiefly because of the absence during the winter of 1897-98 of national. Again, he doesn't talk about any kind of advantages. Okay, let's look at after sentence 1. So here, let's read sentence 2 and take care that sentence 2 is underlined. So it has a kind of question. So that actually give me a kind of suspicion that it's not between 1 and 2. No, it's between 1 and 2. Let's read 2. Just prior to the opening preceding season, tens of thousands of riders throughout the country were able to see the annual shows and at those held under the auspice of the various local cycle train organization. All that the maker had to offer in exchange and improvement for the new year. Again, it doesn't talk about any advantages, but again, he mentions things about the season itself. He mentioned things and season and riders. Let's find here. This opportunity was also furthered by the column. The column is mentioned of descriptive matter published by the daily press and cycle trade journals in their reports for these shows and their exhibits. Yes, here it mentioned everything, but it's better to put this after sentence 3 to be the last sentence. The last one, as you can find here, we just cover 3 or 4 skills out of more than 20 skills in literacy 1. We cover word choice, relevance and purpose, placement, what else? Pronoun antecedent agreement, only those. Let's find here, he said, the authors are considering deleting the underlined phrase. Should the sentence be kept or deleted? As I told you, there is a kind of suspect are going to delete, but I found that it's related because it talk about the same topic, talk about the same thing. So kept. Let's find the purpose. The sentence provide details about the previous sentence. Yes, it mentioned to the previous sentence. The sentence provide an important contradiction to the previous sentence, not a contradiction, so the answer is A. Okay? Malak and Zain. Clear?
Yes, clear, Mr.
Okay.
Yes, Mister.
The author want to express the glowworm trickery. Which choice best accomplish this goal? Okay, so I have a goal here that I want to just satisfy. And as you can find in number 20, here it starts from this one. I need only something that show the trickery, that the glowworm is a trickster. So let's read. He said, it's in some resting place at this that I have often been privileged to light upon the limpers, banqueting on the prey, eating, which he had just paralyzed on its shaky support by his surgical movement. Okay, is movement show that the skills of the glowworms? It can be. Let's find the other games. No. Here, artifices, yes, it means skills. Yeah, this is better to show that it has skills as trickster. Routine, no. So the answer is C. Clear, Zain?
Yes, clear, Mister.
Number 22 for Malak. He said, which choice best conclude the paragraph, Malak, and match the author writing style? He talked about the paragraph. This question or this skill is topic, transition, and conclusion sentence. Now I'm talking about the conclusion. Do you remember when I told you for the conclusion what we're going to do? We're going to look at the introduction for this paragraph. The introduction for this paragraph, actually, it's only 2 sentences because it starts from here. And the introduction to this paragraph. And don't forget to look at the sentence before. Okay, I don't believe that this is the introduction, but let's read it. He said, but he is familiar. No, it's not. So let's find from here. From this one. As you can find, we are going to delete this one. We're going to delete this one. So we're going to start from here. It's in some such resting place at this that I have often been privileged to light upon the limpers banqueting on the prey, which he had just paralyzed on its shaky support by his surgical artifices. Okay. Then after that he said, take care, I need something. I need something as a conclusion. So I'm not going to change this. I'm not going to change this, except if it's 21. As you can find, 21, no change. He frequents the edges of the irrigating ditches with their cool soil, then varied vegetation, a favorite haunt of the mollusk. Okay, let's find which one actually equal to whatever we mentioned. He retrieved the game of the ground. No. Under these conditions, yes, these are conditions for him. It's easy for me. It's easy for me to rear him at home and to follow the operator's performance down to the smallest detail. Yes, you can find here, talk about the detail, and he's talking about the hunting processes in the beginning. Although he's referred to as a worm, he's everything but that. No, we didn't talk about that. His capture suggests his relatives are great hunters as well. We didn't talk about his relatives. So the answer is B. Clear, Malak?
Yes, clear, mister.
Do you have any questions in this passage?
No.
Malak, do you have any question?
No, thank you.
Okay. Let me share again. Let me stop recording for the time being. Okay, the first question is 25. And again, as you can find in 25, it's subject-verb agreement. Subject-verb agreement. So let's find in 25, Zain. He said here the diagrams, okay, the subject given at figures 2 and 3 and 3 show, okay, the verb, the subject is plural and the verb here is plural. Other mountings of genome, engine, and are, again, another verb that match with diagrams. Self-explanatory. Yes, it worked. It worked. Let's look at B. The diagram show. How diagram subject singular? Take show. It must be shows. R also is wrong. It must be is. Here diagrams plural. Here shows singular and is singular is wrong. Here diagram singular show plural wrong. Is right. So the right answer is A. Clear? Clear, Zain?
Yes, Mr. Clear.
Okay. 27. Word choice. Malak. So let's find the meaning of the words. Here I work with connotation. Like loosely, it's a negative word. Securely, positive word. Haphazardly, negative word. Lightly, also negative word. So I'm going to the odd one out, and I take securely, despite that this will not succeed in EST. It succeed at SAT and ACT, but in EST, it will be a kind of unique thing. Let's find the bolts that hold the two halves of the crankcase together project through the steel plate and hold the engine. Yes, we need something that will hold them securely to the front of the fuselage. Clear, Malak?
Yes, clear, mister.
28 also, Malak. Let's find. This is transition. Transitional word. And here a relation before and after. As you can find in 28, we have on the other hand contradiction because of their cause and effect. In the same way, similarity, and therefore cause and effect. Let's find, read before and after to find. He said there are a number of power plant derangement which give a positive indication. Okay, then after that he said noisy operation. It's no contradiction. It's no contradiction or similarity. So we cancel them. Now it's cause and effect because of there and therefore. And therefore mean that you need another clause. And here is not clause. It's only noun. Noun phrase. So it's better to say because of their noisy operation. Clear, Malak?
Yes, clear, mister.
Okay. As you can find here, he said, which of the following best adds, this 29 also, onto the writer's list of cases and causes of noisy operation. Here is what? Here is supporting evidence and example. The skill is supporting evidence and example. So we have a goal. He wants something to follow best adds onto the writer list of cases and causes of noisy operation. Okay, let's find here. We're talking about which part? 28, it's okay. From 29. He said, and any knocking or rattling sounds are usually, don't forget that we have 29 and 30 in the same thing. So one of them at least no change. The problem that we have here no change, and this is a kind of hypothesis. So let's find this one. Which one talk about case and causes of noise operation? Squeaking, noise. Sounds invariably indicate dry bearing. And whenever such a sound is heard, it should be immediately located and oil applied to the parts. Okay. The rubber hose often used in making the flexible connection demanded between the radiator and water manifolds of the engine may deteriorate inside, and particles of rubber may hang down and reduce the area of the passage. Doesn't talk about any kind of noisy operation. Here there is noisy, there is squeaking. The grease from the grease cups mounted on the pump shaft bearing to the lubricate that member often finds its way into the water system and rocks the inner walls of the rubber hose, resulting in strips of the partially decomposed rubber lining hanging down and restricting the passage. Again, it doesn't talk about any kind of noisy. The cooling system is prone to overheat after antifreezing solution, of which calcium chloride forms a part have been used. Again, he doesn't mention anything that relate to the sound. This is easy, Malik. How you got it wrong? Malik, clear?
I don't know, mister, what's wrong with this example.
Okay. You lost attention here.
Yeah.
31, Malik, is verb forms. Tenses. In 31, we have are is plural and in the present. Has been, it's singular and it's the present perfect. Is, it's singular and present. Have been, plural and present perfect. So we have two present, and two present perfect. Let's find here the sentence. It said what? From the beginning. Yes, all of it. Actually, it's in the same sentence. So, he said here, any knocking or rattling sound are usually produced by where in connecting rods. Okay, here present. We have here present. Of main bearing of engine. So sometimes a sharp metallic knock, which very much is the same as that produced, is past. So before present, after past. By a loose bearing is due to carbon deposits in the cylinder heads or premature ignition due to the advanced part-time lever. Before present and before and after past, so something happened in the past and still continue in the present, so this present perfect. Now we need to know the subject. The subject is knock because after it which and which relate to knock, so has been. Clear, Malak?
Yes, clear,
And
mister.
also Zain. Clear, Zain?
Yes, mister.
Okay. Let's go to the last passage. Okay. Number 34, as you can find here, he doesn't give us any kind of clue what he wants exactly. But as you can find, we are talking here about redundancy, Zain. Whenever you don't find, think first about redundancy.
Okay.
So in the first one, I want just to look at the sentence itself. So then I'm going to connect it to what come after. And because this introduction also it's related to the conclusion, as we said many times. So let's read what come after to find out. He said here, some of these have never been brought to light since their publication more than 300 years ago, or been mentioned by the few writers who have interested themselves in the literature of this subject. Okay. In the last, he said, yet they don't deserve to be thus overlooked. And in several ways, this survey of them will, I think, be useful for students of literature. Okay, talk about something related to literature. Let's find here. Among the many didactic books were certain essays which flooded England in the 16th and 17th century in travel. You just talk about books and essays, and here it relates to literature, so maybe, but look at B. Among the many didactic books which flooded England, it's the same thing. It's the same thing, but look at the order. It's the same thing, but look at the order. Among the many didactic books which flooded England in the 16th, 17th century were certain essays on travel. Here we find that all of them like that, they had the same words, only the order of the words. So let's find what's wrong here. Among the many didactic books where certain essays, till now here we have the subject come after the verb here as a kind of revert sentence, so the essays were, that's right, which flooded England. Now which relate to essays? Are the essays flooded England or something else? This is the main topic right now. Let's find here. Among the many didactic books which flooded England. Here, the books flooded England, not the essays. In the 16th, 17th centuries were certain essays on travel. And here essays, it had the subject where. So the problem here, which flooded, books or essays? Let's look at C. In the 16th and 17th centuries, certain essays that flooded England. Again, he talk about essays like A. But the problem here, that he put it instead of which. Here, among the many didactic books, were certain essays on travel, that flooded. No, here travel, that flooded. No, it's wrong completely. And if you're gonna find, we're gonna find the A and C look like each other. So it's better to talk about B because the books that flooded England. Clear, Zain?
Yes, mister.
Let me stop recording.